Everyone, welcome back to Social Club with the question, is Fellaini the worst?
The worst what?
Worst what?
Just the worst.
Really?
Just the worst?
Right.
In the modern parlance. Do you get what I'm...
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I see where you're going.
Is he the worst? Is there anyone worse than Fellaini?
That pause speaks. Somehow whispers in my ear.
Because there's come to a point now where there was a point, Fellaini was once upon a time, it was a player once upon a time, you know, Everton signed him, he was very highly regarded. I think he had some good times at Everton. Obviously, Pep can't be with us this week, which is a shame because I'm sure he'd have something to say. But Chris is never short of a word or two. But you know, he's reached the point now where he's become whether he's the worst or not is kind of irrelevant. Is that Man United fans think he's the worst? They're being told that he's the worst, as though he is exclusively the reason why Man United are not winning the league at the moment.
I think that's what Man United fans are being told. There's one man who decided to put Fellaini on the pitch with 10 minutes to go against Everton, and that's Mourinho. So to counter, is Mourinho the worst? Paul?
Yeah.
No.
Why did he put the worst on then?
Vicarious liability right there, mate. I'm liking that logic, to be fair.
Yeah.
All I'd say about Fellaini is that, like, he does a job on the pitch, and it just seems like to me that Man United and Mourinho don't really know what jobs each player can do on the pitch.
So I'm certain he does a job.
He does a job.
What the job is.
He does a job, but like...
Is he like finding a bunch of keys in a drawer?
Yeah.
And going, well, one of these never belong to lock.
I just signed them up front. Yeah. Should we try him?
It's the bathroom window.
That is the thing. He should be effective in some way.
Yeah.
But he's not. The win ratio when he's playing is 34%. When he's not playing, it's 60%.
Wow.
So they're winning a lot more games when he's not playing. So the point is, and as I was just looking at his stats for Everton, so 141 games, 25 goals. It's not bad if he's playing in midfield, but he played up front a bit as well.
Yeah.
United, 72 games, 7 goals. So obviously less, but in less games. But if he's supposed to be effective in some way, where is it? Because it's definitely not as a defensive midfielder who picks up the ball and is that playmaker, because he wasn't good enough at doing that.
Yeah.
He's not good enough at that high level with the players around him to play up front. So it just doesn't work. I don't see the point. And then when you put him on because they're going to play long balls, he's half asleep and gives away a stupid penalty.
I'll tell you what he is good at. He's good at getting his elbows in the right position. And
you're right. His elbow ratio is very good.
Top in the Premier League, according to Squawker on that one.
Yeah. His elbows are very good. And what he did well at Everton was he played in that hole, that kind of false number 9, kind of centre attacking midfield role when he was good at Everton. And he could really create space and take men out of a game literally with his elbows and could get away with it.
Yeah.
Refereeing's a bit different now. And it just comes to the point where Mourinho's putting him in a hole, being like, right, you're strong, you're big, just be a battering ram. Yeah. And he just it just doesn't work. No. It just doesn't work.
Mourinho goes to sleep every night hoping that, like, Herrera sees one of those, like, Zoltar boxes and wishes that he was big and wakes up one day big. Because if Herrera was 6'4", he would be all over him. Exactly. Mourinho loves a unit, doesn't he, Chris? He likes to have big men in his team. And you can't see Fellaini staying there past this season, but at the minute it's just a fear factor for him that he likes to have big boys to
I think so, because Mourinho knows how to win league titles, and he knows that you need that physicality in the Premier League to win league titles and stuff. But let's not forget, this is the 3rd Manchester United manager who's played Fellaini.
Yeah.
You know, going back, David Moyes signed him or brought him with him from Everton. LVG played him last season, and now Mourinho. So it's easy for us to sit here and go, Marouane Fellaini's crap and all that. But that's three managers who are all good managers. That's taking all my being a Liverpool fan aside, they're all good managers. They've all done good things over their careers at different levels of football, David. The fact of the matter is, you know, Fellaini's not first choice for Man United. He's not good enough to be first choice, but he can come into games and do a job.
The logic of him coming on made sense.
Well, it did.
Don't go that far.
Yeah, Everton, at the time in the game, Everton was starting to swing loads of long balls into the box and stuff like that. It kind of makes sense to an outsider looking, let's bring the tall man on. To be honest, you kind of want someone, if it was me, and this is why I'm not a Premier League manager, I would look at it and go, actually what we need to do is keep control of this game, keep the ball off Everton. Now, Schweinsteiger's not had the best fucking season, and he's not been great, but if you want someone to come in and control the game, then take the ball off Everton. Don't plan for them to start throwing long balls in and we'll head it clear. Take the fucking ball off them and keep the ball. That's what they should be doing. They're Manchester United.
It's not Mourinho's mentality, that though, is it? You know, to think he doesn't like having the football. He doesn't want his teams to have the football. He's never liked them.
They're Manchester United. They should be having the ball against Everton.
But that's the wrong.
And this is why Mourinho doesn't fit in at Manchester United, because he doesn't think like a Manchester United manager. He's dragging that club down, and it's great to see.
But actually, one thing I was saying, which it goes with your point, is that guy instead of Fellaini is Michael Carrick. So Mourinho's had the flexibility and the understanding to bring him in, and he does those two things that you're saying. One, just be in the right spot at the right time, so that it's not even a tackle that you've made, you've just stopped him playing a pass. And then when you've got the ball, keep the ball and move it forward quickly. And Carrick's been brilliant for them since he's come in. But yeah, I agree with you. I think football's, it's not really, it's kind of moved on from that now, where those long balls will make that much difference. Because most teams, probably West Brom aside, do play football.
West Brom are in some tremendous form at the moment. Let's not be dissing West Brom.
They play their brand of football well, and it's working out.
It just boils down to that: is that does Mourinho have that mentality? Does he have the ability to shift to that mentality? And I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that that would ever have been a consideration for him. Because to him, it is just defend like fuck. Smash the ball away, get it up the pitch, empty it out, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Maybe hope that one of your fast players picks up and does something on the counter, whatever.
I think so I was going to say, I think what Mourinho does lack in some way, because he obviously wasn't a professional footballer, is I don't think he understands the complacency that can come into a footballer's head when you don't play as regularly as like you previously used to. If you're chucking Fellaini on it after 80 minutes, and you're just like kind of not been played in so long, you can have such a lack of mental complacency there, and it can really shoot your decision making.
It takes you, when you're that size, it takes you a while to warm into a football match.
That's pretty basic.
That is pretty basic. Well, no, he's not. You know, you throw a little nippy player on you, and you tip around the place. Listen, James, shut up.
You've got no concept.
You've got no concept.
Just warmed up for longer.
You just fucking walk in and you go. No, but what I mean is that Fellaini is a big fella, and the finer point of football is as much as when you're a small, nippy player, because you do move faster. He's a big hulking monster of a guy, and then all of a sudden you're sticking legs out inside the penalty area. He's going to be a liability. But it boils down to exactly the Chris said. Mourinho's made this decision, and yet somehow he's escaped from this, almost blame-free, which is crazy, because what people have said about him over the years is, you know, this galvanising effect. It's on him. He takes it all on him, and it's him, and then he brings his boys around him. Yeah. Whereas,
and he shields
all he's doing now is going, no, it's this guy here. It's this guy here with the stupid hair. Everyone look at him. Look at him over there. Woo! Don't look at these hideous tactical errors I'm making over here, and the fact that I'm not making the most of ridiculous money I'm spending.
But it all comes down to if they'd seen out that game, right, you could have gone, see, that's the difference between Mourinho and Klopp. Mourinho sees out a game, whereas Liverpool were just going and trying to get more goals. So it's all based around that. I can understand the logic of what he was trying to do there, and United are playing better.
But what annoys me is when you see like Gary Neville talking on Sky, and he's like, it's idiotic. Marouane Fellaini's an idiot for doing that and all that type of stuff. Right, if that's the case, Mourinho knows the idiot Marouane Fellaini better than anybody, because he works with him day in, day out. Begs the question, why is Mourinho putting an idiot on the field?
Yeah, totally.
And yet Gary Neville's got no blame for Mourinho, and all the blame for a player who's been hung out to dry in the media by his boss.
To paraphrase Star Wars, who's the fool or the fool who picks him? Yeah, there you go. No, that's it. And he writes, it's this like, well, it's all clearly Fellaini's fault. It's like, oh yeah, it's definitely all Fellaini's fault. That's 100% Fellaini's fault, definitely, because you didn't put, like, People are smashing Everton left, right and centre. They're doing horrendous form. United have got so much talent available to them. And they should have been doing much more at Goodison Park. And now, bear in mind, Liverpool have got to go there before too long. And this, you know, I could see us coming a cropper there. But, you know, this is the thing, Man United, it's this conceit that it's about to click for them.
Yeah.
And
That's
I don't know that
I guess the point is, if you're gonna make changes and play in that way that you get in the lead and then you see out the game, you better see out the game, because if you don't, then you deserve all the...
Well, that's the fine margins,
and that's the
footy, isn't it? And you're right, it's tactical genius when you go away from home and you get a solid, dirty 1-0 win. Yeah. You feel really satisfied for doing that. And you're right, there's, you know, you can go one or two ways. You can go too gung-ho and you look like idiots for attacking, and you'd be crucified just as badly. But this is the fine margins that Mourinho's in right now, is that he is feeling the pressure. And his reverting to type is to go and try and grind out 1-0 wins. But then, as I say, you're only ever this weirdo sticking on a foot in the box away from costing yourself points, you know, week in, week out. So that's the fine line they tread. I remember Benitez doing at the end of his Liverpool reign. We'd gotten better and better and better, and then we just hit a wall the season after we finished second, and we couldn't buy a win. And we struggled, and then it got to Christmas and all the pressure was on him, and he stopped trying to play football and he went to this really negative stuff, and we started drawing games and just losing games to try and steady the ship, and that was the writing on the wall for us, really.
I think they're giving away something like, they're giving points away in the last 10 minutes more than any other team in the league, or something like that.
Whereas I'm pretty sure if you flip that from when the Premier League started, they'll have won more points in the last 10 minutes of games than any other team.
So whatever Mourinho's doing, be it in private, but I think also a big part of it is because it creates a narrative for all of us and the media. The way he is in his interviews and things like that, it's making them all a little bit anxious, because it's not just this game, it's a lot of games now. So he needs to switch on to that as well.
Flav handed me a stat earlier, so blame him if it's wrong. He said Mourinho's taken just 36 points from his last 30 Premier League games, which prompted the question, relegation form. Not what question we've got time for today. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
You've got to end on a positive.
Can scream at their laptop screen.
Tell you what though, Fellaini, if you think about it and you think about David Moyes and his reign as Man United manager, he's an easy scapegoat. He brought him in for big money, and he can probably shift him for a half decent price as well in January. Easy scapegoat. So maybe it's PR genius from Mourinho's point of view.
I think it's pathetic that you got Manchester United fans blaming some of their results this season on a substitute. What about the 11 players on the pitch who could have been 2-0 up? What about, you know, what about you know, that's what it boils down to. Don't blame everything on a substitute who's come on for 10 minutes and stuck out.
No, but he's the worst, Chris. He's the worst. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on anything we discussed in the comments below. Still to come this week on Social Club. Do Liverpool need a better goalkeeper? We're going to be talking about Chelsea, and how they're basically running away with it at the moment. And I have to mention Fabregas and his wonderful tumbling antics. And Leicester and West Ham, horrendous form, too good to go down, ? Stay tuned for all that. Click the Bullshit Shield and subscribe.